What's going on? Move the mouse back in City Skylines, the town, map, island of Honu, whatever you want to call it. And where are we at? Episode number 8, season 12. In the last episode, we built or started to build a campus area. I think I started explaining at the end, right? There are, let me get out of here. Let me get out of the cinematic camera. There are some creative builders that just kind of dive in and build what they're going to build and kind of paint that finished version of the city onto the canvas that is the map. In my case, I really like to build and talk about the creative process, and I like to come back, or I certainly intend to, come back and finish things. So as our campus builds up, we will be keeping an eye on this in the background. It looks like, ooh, we dropped student count, unfortunately, so we'll have to stay on top of our residential demands. And where are we at? 29,000. We're trying to get to 36,000. So most likely we'll need to address our shortcomings on industry to get some people moving in. Before we forget though, we'll do another dissertation. Where are we at? So we have 2 of 4 academic works. Reputation level recognized. Oh, we did get a level. We need to bring in more students. We need to bring in more people. Hopefully we'll keep grinding away. I guess real quick while we're in here, right? University campus area. What did we unlock? So we had the futsal club. When I didn't know what this was. I actually asked on a video. I didn't know what this is. Basically like small form indoor soccer for those of you in the US, or football. It's like on a handball court basically. It's an actual thing. I didn't know, but now I know. And now maybe you know as well. So let's see what we've got for space here. We've got an outdoor study. I'm just going to cram some of this stuff in where we can. Doesn't look like we can at all. So, can I get it here? I sure can. Let's put that outdoor study there. A gymnasium. So we're going to just cram this in wherever we can for the time being. Cafeteria. Let's put the cafeteria so the kids can eat, you know, over by the dorms at least. Like that. And we'll definitely need some more. Can we get this? Can we get this? Oh, we can. This almost looks like I intended this. I can assure you I did not. That just happened to work out where we've got this lumpy park object. No. So it's a little lumpy. It's a little lumpy, but we can adjust that kind of in the middle right there for now. We will come back and smooth out this campus. I promise. It's something that it's something I feel like we should do in the grand scheme of things. And I think I'm going to be spending some time on this city. For those of you that are console players, I definitely will be going back and doing some builds. Maybe doing this one. If someone doesn't update their tutorial, I think they get a better mic now. I know someone that could make a really stellar tutorial on this if they wanted to upgrade it. And if not, maybe I'll record one for console players. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll see why are people complaining about noise all the way over here? Is the noise spread finally from that was not that loud when it started. If you remember last episode. So maybe we kind of push these down and over away from our residential area. Cause man, that's pretty bad. We could also look at, you know, some more trees and stuff to help pad some of it, but it's not enough. And look at all the people. That is one nice thing that is happening here. So there's a lot of people coming in via this stop, it looks like. Are they coming into the city, going here, riding the monorail down a stop to then walk the rest of the way? It sure looks like it. So, good news is we're going to fix that today. Let's make it daytime. Get your sunglasses. Turn it off day-night cycle. Just day all the time. And I want to look at some transport options for moving people around the city. And a good place to start is just understanding... Wrong button. Understanding where your traffic flow is at. So it's at 81%. Part of that is a lot of the slowdowns that we see right here on this strip. So how do we fix that? Well, the other thing is a lot of it is the slowdowns that you see right here that aren't actual slowdowns, but they do technically go slower on these smaller roads. So that kind of throws everything off. I'm not going to worry about the percentage too much. More of what we're going to worry about is, can we improve things like this? So, you know, can we do this? Hold on a second. Let me move this, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to reorient it this way. Or not. Hold on a second. So let's delete one segment of that. Let's move it that way. Okay. And then transport monorail rails, and then get that connected. So this should recognize that that line is still accessible. It's just we're using the other side of the station now. And that confused everybody in there because they're on the wrong side now. What this does, I hope, is make it so cars will get out. This is the entrance, right? The backside is no longer the entrance. It's a wall. But potentially cars were coming around this intersection, waiting for this traffic over here to park in front to go get off at this stop. So hopefully that will fix things. It thinks the line is broken though, so let's just recreate it. It doesn't matter that much. Can we? Lines overview, monorail. Let's just delete it. Yes. Come on. Come on. Okay. New line starting here. Whoa. Lag. Going here. Going here. Coming back. Real simple stuff. But how do we move some people around other parts of our city? Well, we could bring a monorail line up and over this way. That might be good. Considering how much noise this neighborhood over here has. We might want to move the kids over here in this little pocket around the highway. I say kids, but you know, it's university housing. It's all a little drab, but I think it does a trick. I think there's just way too many broken car assets. I don't know about you. I mean, I had a busted down car, but it wasn't collecting rust in the front yard, and that seems to be happening an awful lot in our university district. So how can we get some things moving around? Well, I think we should upgrade this. We did this last episode. Can we do... Let's see what this looks like. Okay, so we'll move this away for now. Hold on a second. We'll move a couple houses out to do this. But I think ultimately it might be worth it. So can we hook this up? Will that bend? It will bend. So we could bring them down to the sports arenas, to the city center, or the campus center. Maybe we can do that down here. Hold on a second. Let's delete that. Let's do the monorail with road, which is a 4-lane, and it should only let us snap in the center there. And do we need to bring this down here? I mean, we could, but I think that's close enough. So let's go back to roads real quick. Medium roads, and then just connect what we broke there. Whoops. Hold on a second. Let's, in my case, I'm going to force this down. In your case, you may need to play around with the sloping if you didn't flatten it already. The biggest mistake I made. How bad is that? That's not terrible. That works. Whoa, lag. I wish you could put some kind of safety stop at the end of this, or if it just knew to do that, right? I think, is that there on the monorail? Not the monorail, the metro on-ground station? I feel like it might be. Maybe not. Maybe the train tracks have it. I don't know. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about, right? You don't want the monorail failing to stop and just careening off down the street. So let's see. What can we do here? I don't think that's too far to ask people to walk. So we're just going to do this to connect the university campus into our monorail line. So we can do this either. We can go back to roads. We can go to monorail. We can find the roads that way and just upgrade the rest of this segment all the way down here. Now, how we hook this in is the question. We could hook in this way, and I think we'll do that for here because I think I want to hook in the other way to get people moving to our downtown routes. So let's try this for a second. Let's zoom way in here. Monorails, and we will, what, curve? No, freeform. Freeform works. I think that's okay. Now, do we have room? The question is to do the same thing over here. We're going to have to mess with our pedestrian overpass, it looks like, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get that in too, right? Yeah, no, that breaks the road. So do we want to come down here? Or do we want to come down here? Let's come down here and not break and disrupt this that we already tore apart once. So back to, what is it, grass line streets that I had going here? Let's restore that. And let's do that instead down this strip, which is a little bit less decorated. Before I forget, let me reconnect. Before I forget, let me reconnect this. No. Is this park path? Yeah, that's what we were using. Nope, that is incorrect. I had the force ground option on. Yeah, I still have the force ground option on. Okay, that's not helping us. So back to building the road, the park path. Turn off my force ground. Just use the regular rules, and that connects it. And then this was bugging me a little bit. I kind of want to fix this a little. Just curve that out. I think that looks much more natural and much more the part. You can do that with the freeform tool. This is a straight shot, so I'm okay with that being a little bit more angular coming into this bend, but it just felt really wrong. Kind of how that flowed over there. So let's do that. Grass line all the way down there, and we will monorail road down here. So let's come all the way down. Let's think very briefly. I want to try and get a monorail station in around here. So let's look at that. I think you have to break 2 segments of road just to be safe. And we'll hook this one in wherever it will sort of let us snap in the center there. So we'll draw that piece. I don't know why it keeps wanting to elevate those. You may have to be maybe a little bit more finicky with it than I have to be with mods, but you definitely can achieve that. And then back to upgrade. So that's all connected, and then we'll do one more stop at least, maybe 2, down here. So there's kind of 2 options you can do. You can run these that connect on the side of the street, but I think for our purposes it makes a lot more sense to drop them in the middle. But do we ditch this tree line street? I think we do for now in an effort to get people moving down here. We'll do one central. You know what? No, we'll do it right here. We'll do it right here on this kind of entranceway. So let's break those 2. Let's do our station here. That the entrance, and if we do this way, it looks like you can enter on both sides. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we'll get this connected. No, I don't need that. I don't need that. Standard road's fine, because this is going to be the end of our monorail line for now. I think what we could look at is maybe subway access that runs along here. That way we don't have to tear the whole street up around the park. That could hook in kind of up here. So that could give us some alternate routes, some other things that we can do. I wanted to do monorail just because it looks different than what I normally do. Where is actually, we need that one. We do need this one last piece to be connected before we hook up the straight up track. So there we go. Let's get, we'll start here in the downtown. We'll collect. I take it back. What is this one that's not connected? Let's just delete that. Yeah, delete that line. Okay, hold on. We gotta actually connect. We gotta connect up here. So we kind of have two options. We could stack and make a bunch of stuff happening at this station and turn that into more of a hub. We could kind of split off some of our traffic, right, and head off that way if we wanted to. I think if we can get away with it, though, I think this makes more sense is turning this into a hub. We've almost got this little park right here, this little thing we could do. Almost treat this as kind of a hub area for our metro. We've got the crosswalk there, so people can get around easy enough. Let's do that for now. So back into monorails and lines. We'll start new line, stop, and then come back like that. So how does this look? I mean, I think it looks okay. There's a couple, it doesn't handle elevation shifts well sometimes, and you'll get these big lumps, like right here. Right, so we could look at tuning and tweaking that. What I want to do for a hot minute is, let me play it on 3 times speed. Let me bring up transportation and, where is it here? Line overview. Monorail, let's categorize these in a way where we can tell what's what. So which line is which? So this is the old school default one, monorail line 1. We'll call this one Old Town for now. We'll call this one Downtown. Or apparently I will type it but not hit enter on it. And let's see what that does. We've got a lot of demand for office. We'll try and answer that. It is what? It's April 28th. Let's let it run the entire month of May 2031 and see where we're at. So in the meantime, I will bring up this line, this view, and we can see that the old line on the main street is moving 36 passengers. This is moving 30. Let's see what that does one there. Let's see what also it does for traffic flow, which is actually worse right now. We've got to look at what's happening up here. Hold on a second. We have traffic lights? We do. We must. Is that just stacking up regular traffic there? So traffic coming off should yield. Let's have traffic coming off stop and maybe provide more priority for all this traffic that's coming out. I don't know. We shouldn't change too many variables at once. But again, let's look at traffic is at 79%. Monorail lines, what are they doing? So downtown's already moving a lot of people. That's nice. So let's get a look here. Again, we'll let it run for the month of May, which is already halfway over. But at least that lets it run for a bit, lets people start to calculate and see, you know, what routes are available. Give them an option for moving down here. I bet we could get even more people on if we extended that down, you know, to the middle of this block, down to the large area over here. And something's going on here. Check this out. We moved in a couple custom buildings. This one has 48 of 50 households. So that is just doing, that's doing a ton. This one, I'm pretty sure I saw start to fill up. And now a dead person's waiting for transport. So did I break this in a way where, you know, it's not even, I remember I spun this around, right? This is not the side that's supposed to be facing the street. So did I make this inaccessible? Is this how it's supposed to be? Overhanging almost into the road. I don't want to overhang it into the street, but I do want it to at least fill that gap where the... It looks dangerous. It looks very dangerous. But let's see. Did rotating that 165? Wow. Okay, so it just literally was not accessible to anyone the way I had it rotated. As soon as we turned that around, people moved in and that dead body is no longer there. So sorry about that, everybody. Look at that. Time passes so fast on the PC. It is now June already. Geez, maybe I should just let it run for a year. Transport, views, transport, lines, monorails. We're moving hundreds of people around now. Not bad for a town of under 30,000. Speaking of, should we get a little bit of growth happening today? I think we should. Where are we going to get an office park in? Well, we could probably... I mean, what do we have for zoning down here? This all residential up this strip. I mean, office is not a big offender. But we did have this little spot over here that used to have the university in it, so we could at least move a handful of offices in over there. That will barely dent our demand. I think high density zoning wise, we could totally come in here. Oh. Stop. So high density zoning apparently sounds an awful lot like Hi Android Assistant, if you know its name. I at least figured out what was triggering it. It's when I say high density zoning. I'm going to have to over articulate on that if I don't want it interrupting me. What's going on over here? Huh? Is this zoning like really broken? Let's undo that. Let's undo that. Let's just demo this. This doesn't seem right. If something wants to move back in, that's fine. It just didn't feel right. So we've got some smaller apartment buildings that are going to crop up in this space. We've still got a decent amount of demand for office. So kind of looking at the overhead, you know, we've got some people that live up here. Oh, hey, remember when I moved this away from the road to upgrade it and then didn't move it back? So let's do that. Let's see where our university's at. Actually, I've been meaning to keep an eye on this and I haven't been doing so well. Getting there on students. Need to move some more people in. How saturated are we over here? Pretty good. Pretty much moved in everywhere. We could do another neighborhood over this way. Right? I think that kind of makes sense. And maybe ultimately we move people away from all this noise. What can we fix in the meantime? Let's take a look. Let's go over to brushes for our palm trees and stuff. We'll increase the brush size and the strength is all the way up. So, you know, sometimes it's even easier if you do a smaller brush because then you can kind of get in there more. Or the one brush. Right? And do stuff like that. So let's see what this actually does for noise. So does this make an impact? It theoretically should make at least a little bit of impact, but that is so much noise that I don't know that we're going to fix it. What if we overlap them way more than should be possible? Does that help us at all? That's a ridiculous amount of palm trees. Does adding a ridiculous amount of palm trees make a difference? Calculate your guess. Lock in your answer. Not really. There's just a disgusting amount of noise happening over here. So I think we're going to look at moving some of this away down the strip a little bit. Seeing what we can tuck in, what we can cram in over here. You know, if we think about the footprint of the buildings, we might be able to move this across the street over here, move some of this stuff down. Let's do that real quick. Hold on a second. Let's pause. I'm going to use move it just to get that stuff out of there for a minute. Let's see if we can get this. No, we can't get that there without tunneling underneath. I mean, I guess we could do that. Let's do this. Let's move this out of the way. Let's get another street through here. And I'm just going to use a regular one for now. Right, we can do something like that. Connect up to there, maybe. I don't know. This might end up getting really busy. But it might help us do the trick. And then let's blow away this coastal road for a minute. How are we money-wise? 813,000. I can do the legit moves. Right, that'll let us... Okay. We'll bring those dorm buildings down. We'll bring the study hall down because that's a much quieter building. What do we have? This is technically providing coverage for university. Not in our university, right? This doesn't affect the coverage of our university. And maybe I'm kind of breaking the game that way, because if we need more students to attend, how many students are in here? Right, we've got 100, 200, we've got 300 students right there in those two buildings. That was helping us get university coverage for the city. We don't need that. We need... No, we don't need to bulldoze it either. You're not a casino. So if those people move over to study here instead, then we'll be hitting what we need. So let's move these as well. All right. This is our police, fire. Where can we get this? You know, right there. It's a little awkward. It's a little weird, but it works. And then why don't we move all this stuff over too? So at least for now, that's good enough. We'll bring our last couple dorms over. Bring this one over here. Come on. Bring that one over there. Now we should be able to bring this down like that, right? And then can we tunnel underneath this? I don't know if I left myself enough room for that. We could do that though. That's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but it works. And we've got plenty of room to bring this beach out a bit. So what I would do if you were on console is I would flatten based on this height of this object. I think we can do that a lot quicker on PC. So I can select the node that I want. I can say align height to an object's height, and let's pick that object, right? So now we've got this even terrain that's aligned up there. We can pick these other objects too. I just wanted to see kind of what that would look like. Let's go over one node. Did I select all the right things? And that. Let's align all of those to object height this object. Really? Okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Right. So we've got those three objects selected. Align height. To object height, what object? That object. Okay. And now let's select all these, everything in between here and there, or everything including here and there. They changed that. And we want to slope those objects, right? So it comes down much more gradually. Now we can work on things like the curves. So how do we kind of curve this in and around? We could do something like that. Let's bring that out so that we can curve that in a little bit and have it bend around. And now let's smooth out and slope things based on that. So I'm going to grab a height and I'm going to increase my brush size. Right, like that. We'll come about to the middle of the road and do that and do that. Now that's way more than we need. That's okay. We're going to displace a bunch of water doing this. But in this case, I want to come in just a little bit. And I'm right clicking or hitting X or square, PlayStation and Xbox. Reverse respective order? I had to think about that for a minute. I said it backwards. Usually if you say those things in the right order and then the comparatives, you would say respectively, but that was reverse respective order. So you figure out what I was talking about and let me know in the comments down below what all of this means. In the meantime, oh, I didn't mean to do that though. Did I? No, I didn't. So I meant to slope up to maybe here, to there, to smooth now. So let's all do that. Let's see what that does to our water. It might make a little bit of a mess. Woo. I was going to say it almost flooded our campus. But give it time. It'll flood it. What is complaining down here? The stuff that I've moved. What? What's your problem? What's your problem, Stadium? What? You can't throw games like that? Okay, so did that free up any room for us to move a stadium over here? I think we can get the baseball stadium in. I think. Is this another faculty building? Oh. Bulldoze. Okay, so let's get that out of there. What is this? This is the futsal club. Let's move that out of here. Put it right across from the basketball arena because if you're coming to one of the big sports, right? Apparently somebody died there. You're probably doing one of those two things. You're playing futsal, you're playing basketball. For right now, what if we put we've got room for the baseball stadium. Do we have room for the football stadium? I don't think that we do. Oh, we do. If we want it to be right next, that kind of works. I don't know if that's exactly how I would lay it out, but for right now, let's do that. And then let's try and move the baseball stadium somewhere where it will let me stop on this bottom road. Okay, what you could do is take a segment of this curve. Okay, let's do this. So we'll break 3 pieces of road and then we'll connect that straight. This is how you would cheat it on console. Or you're not cheating. This is how you'd work with the game on console. Now here we will just place the baseball stadium there. I'll grab my smoothing brush and smooth out where the obvious edge of the properties are. And so now we've shimmied around a bunch of stuff. Have we pushed our campus into, we have over 100 students above where we need to be. So we might get our next level here. Not too bad. I got scared for a second because I thought this dark area where there are no trees was a dark area where trees were burned. But we didn't miss anything, so that's good. So let's see what that does for some of our noise. We've still got the basketball stadium there, right? So that's only going to fix so much. But that's definitely better than where we were at. We could maybe bring basketball, down here. Yeah. So we could do something like that. Now, the downside to this, I think that's going to be a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah, that's definitely better, right? So there's still noise. It kind of sucks living in these houses that are right there on the highway and right in the edge of the stadium noise, but the rest of the zone is pretty good. There's only so much we can do over here, unfortunately. But that does help us out quite a bit. It also gives us more room for actual school buildings near the main administration. But we also don't have a monorail stop down here. So maybe at some point in the future we'll knock this out, rethink this. We're not done here. We're not done here by any means. We get this right on that block, kind of like that. So does it work? Yes. Could probably use a fence around the track and field area. And ultimately, I want to try and get this connected underneath so that people have some different ways to get around some of the edge use cases of our town. Can I actually just connect that through? I must have had anarchy on. Can we get a look under here, please, game? Okay. I feel like that is that pillar. Is the other highway pillar just, yeah, right smack in the middle of the road. What you can do is you can kind of break the road, stop it here, break the bridge, stop it on the other side, and then just connect the two, and it won't create a pillar in the middle like that. Or are you ready for this? If you have move it, you can just move that thing. It's ridiculous. So OP, right? We can even line it up so that it makes a little bit more sense aesthetically. If we just turn that one just a little bit right there. I mean, you could also, you know, highlight that and use the little bulldozer icon, get rid of it. Ooh, actually that one is just totally disconnected. So I am gonna do that. And it looks like it lets the trees kind of grow back in that were there. We're gonna move this water at some point. We'll make this slope much more gradual. Maybe we'll even drop this down, because the only reason this is up like that is because that's kind of where the terrain was. But we've got some stuff happening here. Where are we at academic year? Maybe that's where we finish up the episode. We're really close. So let's let it play. Let's grab some cinematics while we wait. Take a little flyby, see what the city looks like. That's a little crazy, that that monorail intersection in the main roundabout in our downtown strip, or old town strip, I should say, the old school Main Street. Main Street actually ran north, south, not east, west. Never mind. I don't know. There's names for things. I'm not using them. You know what I was talking about. That roundabout that's got all the monorails going through. It's a little crazy, but I kind of like it. And it turns that middle station of the first three that we dropped in into kind of a hub spot. And that's kind of nice. Hub stop. Hub spot is actually a company. No copyright trademark violations intended. It's an accident. Please don't sue. I don't know. Are they? I don't think they're litigious. I also don't think that was anything. It was just a slip of the tongue. All right, Mouse, you're being ridiculous. You're just killing time until the end of the academic year. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with killing a little time now and then. You gotta let your city run. You gotta let it do its thing. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If you make configuration changes to traffic flow and things like that, don't judge it too soon. Let the Sims really figure out that is a new route that is possible before you judge the overall benefits of traffic flow changes, transport, and things like that. Before we get out of here, we will take a quick look at just noise overall, because we did add some new noise with the monorail routes that will increase what those 4-lane roads are doing. But I also use those as cut-throughs, intending them to have a lot of traffic, and in the process build commercial onto those, because they're also the noisiest. So, you know, put the noisy zones where the noise is, and two birds, one stone, as it were. There's a tree I would get rid of. I think I know where that is. Let's go get rid of that one tree if we can find it. It's gonna be in the downtown, so it's gonna be over here. And I think it was on this. Whoa! I think it was on this block right here. Okay, academic report. I'm going to look at this instead of closing it out since we're here. We got our academic works. We got our students. We got our campus attractiveness, which means we are renowned. What do we get? Academic statute, library, math club, school of medicine, and commencement. Hey, people have been around long enough they can... Oh, can we get this tree? Oh, there was a spot. There was a spot where it was going to let me. It's somewhere. It's somewhere over here. All right. Come on, tree. There it was. It was there for a moment. It was there. It really was there for a minute. Can I get it with move it? Can I move more stuff out of the way to get a better angle on this? No. Where is it? It's let me highlight it a couple times now, and I can't then find that same spot. So what if I just, can we draw a block around it, right? Okay, there we go. That'll work. And then delete that, please. Okay, that was way more work than that needed to be. Orient this with the side street and kind of get that lined up. See what that looks like. That works. So anyways, there was a tree over here that I was going to delete. It's that one. Are we have to do the same thing? Right there, delete. I think that was the offending tree that we saw in the cinematic. We'll want to do something down here, like with a corner like that, right? I mean, we should probably put something. A couple trees. Two trees. That works. Okay. Anyways, let's see here. Let's look at those two metrics before we head out. Well, 3 metrics. So what is our traffic doing? 79%. Okay. We've still got a lot of backup happening at this roundabout, right? There's a lot of traffic that comes through here. And that is okay. We still are really servicing a lot of our town off that one exit. Some of it does come down here, and we could do some old town policies and things like that to reduce some of that. But for right now, 80%, I'm totally fine with that. If we go into lines overview and look at the 2 monorail lines, Old Town again is the one that is up here. The one that is running these 3 stops just back and forth. The other line that we have is the one that comes down here and delivers people into the newer, larger downtown area. And they're moving, 1,000 people combined. That's not bad. I can deal with that. The real test, though, is what is this doing to our noise? And let's take a look at that in the grand scheme of things. So highways are noisy. Absolutely no way to avoid that. You can surround it with trees. You can do noise barriers. If you elevate it at all, it'll create Jersey barriers. I need to test if that actually, I think that reduces sound as well. Anything that gets between the people and the noise is a good thing. So trees help, and obviously specific noise reduction barriers help as well. But where's our noise? Well, it's on these main strips. It's where, in this case, the monorail is. This is our noisy commercial downtown area, right? So there's some odd things happening here. Windmills, very noisy. We've talked about it before. The jury's still out, but some say this might cause cancer, the windmills. I don't think the science backs it up, but I don't know. I can't let that one go. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever said. I'm sorry. Windmills do not cause cancer. Unless you are using them to like propel carcinogens into your face. And then, yes, I guess you could say that they cause cancer. Anyways, beside the point. So what did we do today? I don't know. We reconfigured our campus. We planted way too many trees here trying to prove a point. So let's get rid of a lot of that. We're gonna fill that in with space anyways, but that was me being silly. So, campus 2.0 wasn't the point of today. The point of today was to get some people moving around via transport, and I think we've achieved that. We'll it's very much a 0.5, an alpha release, a closed beta at best. It's nowhere near where we want to be, but it's an important step as we continue to move people into our city. Speaking of, hold on a second. Actually, no, I kind of like that shot. I'm going to wait because it shows our highway, our overpass, some of our campus area, the giant stadium. The stadium that is giant, not giant stadium. Again, no trademark infringement intended. Love that canal area of the downtown. There's some really cool spots, but where are we at growth wise? We're still at 29,000. So next episode, we'll tackle growth, right? The demand. We need to fill in industrial, and commercial. Residential is the lowest. So if we want people to move in, we need to give them jobs, right? Where's employment? Oh, people. Unemployment, 4%. So that's not too bad, right? But people aren't moving in if there aren't jobs. And right now there aren't jobs. So I didn't mean to do that. If we go into cinematic camera with the info views up, is that supposed to happen? Is that a thing? Is that really a thing? I did not understand that. So maybe we'll check that out for a very weird intro at some point. But in the meantime, let's do a very weird outro, which is weird because I'm the one talking, and usually it gets distracted and stuff like that happens, where the camera has to zip up 87 stories to get over a building that we dropped in there. But either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. A bit all over the place. An important step in any city is providing some transport routes. We did that today with some monorail access, really extending all the way from downtown up into our... Hold on a second. Create new line. Add stop. Complete line. Line overview. Campus. And let's do red. No, red. Orange. And then yellow for our campus. We're doing the Roy G. Biv colors in the order that we created them. Cinematic camera. As I was saying, we built some monorail lines, and now you can get all the way from downtown all the way up to the campus on those monorail lines. So we'll take a look at that again next time to see how much the campus route affects things now that we've actually put that in. That probably would have been a better gauge, and I'm sure somebody was on that. And I'm sure if Adia was watching and making comments as she watched, she will realize that I fixed it in the outro if she stayed tuned till the end. So hopefully she did. If you stayed tuned this long, I'm betting it's because you might have enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit that like button. It really helps the channel a lot, as do comments, shares, all those ways you interact with the video are all so greatly appreciated, and they really do help. So do those things, at least for creators you like. And I'm hoping you like me if you stayed tuned this long, or at least like my content. I don't know. Maybe I'm in some weird zone where you like the creator, but hate, or like the content, but hate them. I don't know. I certainly hate those rocks that are in the road, and the camera is like freaking out trying to figure out. The camera was just going to lose it there. I'm going to lose it with all the rocks. We'll fix it eventually, though. Stay tuned for that. I don't know where things are at the time of recording, but I will say I am due to post the next video. I don't know the date. I'm on vacation next week. It's school vacation. It's work vacation. It's gonna be some time to decompress with the family, which after a year and a half at home together, we definitely all probably could use. So I don't know where I'm gonna be at uploads wise next week. So if you really want to know, Discord's probably one of the best ways to stay in touch. But I will post as soon as I can. We'll probably still be streaming on my wife's channel, so check out Apple Buddy on YouTube. She's linked in my recommended channels if you click into the community tabs and things like that on my YouTube page. If you aren't following her already, but we usually stream, and stream doesn't really, our daughter has to go to sleep, so we'll still be playing games and might still stream. I don't know. But I don't know where the upload schedule is basically what I'm trying to say at this point. A long way around. Too late, right? So anyways, there will be another video. Whether or not it will be on the regular schedule next week, I'm not sure. But the week after that, we should be back to regular uploads, at least Wednesdays and Saturdays. Maybe I'll try and do something quick, but no promises. Stay tuned. Move the Mouse will return. When is the question? And I don't know what time we're recording, so... interested in supporting the channel? Funny you asked that. Well, there's links in the description down below. Become a patron or a channel member today. That is always so greatly appreciated when people directly contribute to the channel. It just means so much. And, you know, again, any way you interact, it helps channel members and patrons help most directly. And that's always appreciated. If you'd like to support the channel, links to that and lots of other things in the description down below. I'm going to get out of here before this outro, I was going to say get super squirrely, but it's probably too late for that also. So again, hopefully you enjoyed. We will see you on the next one. When that is, I don't know. Do you know? I mean, maybe you're watching this back after I posted the next video and you're catching up. And in that case, you do know when the next video is. But if you don't know, stay tuned. I will be back maybe next week, maybe week after. But one way to find out is to ring the bell. Get notifications, find out when content gets uploaded first. And yeah, I don't know. This city's coming along. I'm really happy with it, and I'm going to get out of here. We can talk about it more in the next one. Until then, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.